All right, so GalFi, huh? Everyone wants to know more about it, and you came to the right place, because that's what we're diving deep into today.
Yeah, it's ambitious.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this 4X play-to-earn game, it's shooting for the stars.
It really is.
We're talking building planets, we're talking commanding fleets, even colonizing new worlds. And of course, the potential to rake in some crypto along the way. So,
Always a bonus.
always a bonus.
Got to be in it for something, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to see if this is your ticket to the galactic big leagues?
Let's find out.
All right, buckle up. Let's do it. So, what I found really cool about GalFi right off the bat was the story.
Yeah.
Like, it immediately grabbed me.
It's a good hook.
Yeah, you've got humanity just hanging out in this utopia, then bam, everything just collapses.
Everything falls apart.
Yeah, technology fails, chaos reigns.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. Little too real.
Yeah.
But then out of nowhere comes this mysterious AI, the GalFi Nexus AI, and it's here to help humanity rebuild.
Yeah, it's a classic kind of setup, fallen humanity, AI to the rescue kind of thing, but it works.
Yeah, and what I like is it actually makes you feel like you're part of this grand galactic comeback story.
Exactly. And that story, that's what sets the stage for the entire game.
Okay, so walk me through it.
All right, so imagine this, you're developing planets, right?
Mhm.
Which means you're strategically placing buildings like mines and power plants to generate resources.
Resource Management 101.
Exactly. You got it, and then you take these resources and you manage them carefully. You could trade them on the GalFi DEX.
Mm-hmm.
That's their decentralized exchange, by the way.
Gotta love a good DX.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or you can use those resources to build out your fleet, get some ships going, and that just opens up even more possibilities.
Because those ships are your ticket to missions, right?
Bingo.
I was looking through the white paper, and they mentioned mining exploration, even combat against the
Xenos.
Xenos, yeah.
Yeah, those guys.
Sounds like there are multiple ways to really make a name for yourself in this universe.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You can be a resource tycoon, corner the market on like space potatoes or something.
Space potatoes, I love it.
Got to have them.
Awesome.
Or you could become like a space merchant, wheeling and dealing across the
Like
galaxy.
you see it now.
Or
Yeah.
you could be out there commanding a powerful fleet in the contested space.
Oh, yeah, that's their PvP battleground, right?
That's the one.
Oh, you're definitely going to dive into contested space a little bit later.
Oh, yeah. That's the really interesting bit.
It sounds intense.
Oh, it is.
But first, let's rewind a little bit and talk about these planets and asteroids because they're player-owned NFTs, right?
That's right.
They're not just some pretty background in this game.
No. You own them outright. They come in 3 sizes, though.
Yeah.
Common, uncommon, and rare. And that determines how many buildings you can have on them. So
naturally, the rare ones with more building slots are going to be the most sought after.
oh, yeah. Those are going to be the prime real estate in the GalFi universe.
Makes sense. More buildings, more resources, faster expansion. It's all connected.
Exactly.
And speaking of buildings, did anything in particular catch your eye in the white paper?
Well, there were a few things.
Yeah.
The Amrita mine, for one.
The what?
The Amrita mine.
Okay.
It produces Amrita, which is a resource that grants you this eternal life.
Eternal life.
Eternal life, I know, right? And it's actually super important for some of the most powerful structures later in the game.
Wow, eternal life. That's some high-stakes resource management right there.
You better believe it.
Okay, what else?
Well, for those ambitious players out there, you've got the space arcology.
Okay, I've heard whispers about this.
Oh, yeah. This thing's a beast. It generates GALFI, which is the core token of the game,
Okay.
and GFCMP, which is another token that's used for those massive mega structures everyone's going to be vying for.
Okay, so you gotta get your hands on those.
Oh, for sure, but there's a catch.
Okay.
You can only build a space arcology on a Lagrange point.
Oh, what?
A Lagrange point. It's a
Yeah.
specific point in space where gravity balances out. So strategic placement is key.
So you can't just build these willy-nilly, like you gotta plan ahead.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
got to be thinking strategically right from the get-go.
This is getting complex.
Oh, it gets even better.
Does it?
Yeah. Then there's the Holy Grail, the
Marvelous.
Dyson Sphere.
Okay, I've heard about these in sci-fi novels, but come on.
Oh, this is the real deal. A mega structure that you build around a sun with its own building slots.
So we're talking galactic scale engineering here.
Oh, yeah. This is big-time stuff.
Imagine owning one of those. You would be a legend.
Oh, yeah. You'd be the talk of the GalFi galaxy for sure.
Oh, I bet you would. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's bring it back down to earth for just a second and talk about how players actually build up to that point.
Okay.
Because the white paper mentions something about upgrading buildings, right?
Absolutely. Upgrading is key to boosting your resource production.
So it's not just a set it and forget it kind of game.
No way, you got to keep improving those buildings.
Okay.
Each upgrade, it costs 1.5 times the previous level.
Oh, so it gets pricey.
Yeah, but it also multiplies production by 1.5, so it's worth it.
So it rewards those early adopters who really get those upgrades going early on.
Exactly, get ahead of the game.
The early bird.
That's it.
And speaking of resources, there seem to be a lot of them in GalFi.
Oh yeah, we're talking 15 different tokens, 15 each, with its own unique role in the GalFi economy.
15? That's like a whole periodic table of tokens.
That's a lot to keep track of.
Where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with the MVP, GalFi.
Okay, GALF.
Think of it as the lifeblood of the game. You use it to buy buildings, to upgrade, to speed up construction. You can even trade it on external DEXs if you want to.
Yeah. Decentralized exchanges for those who are new.
That's right.
Okay, so GALFI is king.
For sure.
But 14 other tokens? That's still a lot to wrap our heads around.
It is a lot.
So give me the highlights. What other tokens should we be paying attention to?
All right, well, two big ones are GFMNR and GFDOE.
Okay, what are those all about?
So those are your minerals and your ore. You need those for everything. They're like the basic building blocks of your galactic empire.
So even in space, it all comes down to those raw materials.
Always.
Classic resource management.
Exactly. Then you get HY Pure, which is a super rare resource that's used for those mind-blowing mega structures we talked about, like the Dyson Sphere.
Oh, right.
And the even more impressive
Ring worlds.
ring worlds. Okay, now those sound cool.
Then that's level.
If you're swimming in HY Pure, you know you've made it in the GalFi universe. Oh yeah, you're basically a galactic rock star at that point.
And then there's Exynos, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Exynos, can't forget about Exynos.
Yeah.
It's a resource that you get by battling those mysterious Xenos aliens.
Right.
And you need it for special buildings like the Alien Zoo.
The Alien Zoo. Okay,
Yeah.
that alone has me sold.
Right.
So you're telling me all these tokens, they're driven by what players do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to make for a wild in-game economy.
No, it's going to be a roller coaster,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Every trade, every mission, every upgrade, it all impacts the marketplace. So it creates this really dynamic and potentially very profitable environment.
So it's a living, breathing galaxy right at your fingertips.
Precisely.
I like it. But with all these tokens and resources, how do players actually earn in GalFi? I know we touched on missions before. What's the deal there?
All right, so missions, they're your bread and butter in the GalFi universe.
Okay, how so?
Well, by sending out your ships and crews to mine, explore, fight, or even just socialize, believe it or not.
Socializing. Man.
Socializing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. You earn those precious tokens.
So you're saying there are consequences for being a space hermit?
Pretty much.
Like, it keeps things interesting in these missions. They have varying durations, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you could be as active or as laid back a space entrepreneur as you like.
Exactly. You choose missions ranging from a quick 30 minutes to a whopping 28 days.
28 days.
28 days.
Wow.
Yeah, the longer missions, obviously, they carry bigger risks, but they also have the potential for much larger rewards.
So a little something for everyone, the casual comet cruiser, and then the die-hard deep space explorer.
I like that.
And if you are looking for more passive income, there's always staking.
Yeah, staking.
GalFi allows you to stake their own crew, and specialist NFTs. We'll get into those more a little bit later.
Very cool.
But also a bunch of popular external collections, so you can just connect your wallet and the game does the rest.
That's right. It's super easy to get started.
And they mentioned soft staking in the white paper, right?
They did.
Which is a nice touch, I think, for security-conscious players who want to earn passively but without putting their precious NFTs at risk.
Exactly. You don't have to go all in right away. You can dip your toes in the water.
Now, speaking of crews, the white paper also mentioned a referral program. Tell me more about that.
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty sweet deal, actually.
Yeah.
You earn 1% of your referrals earnings for a whole year just for getting them into the game.
That's a win-win. You introduce your friends to an awesome new game, and you get a cut of their galactic profits. I love it.
Gotta love a good referral program.
You do, but it can't all be smooth sailing in the vast expanse of space, right?
Definitely not.
What kind of challenges can players expect in the GalFi universe?
Well, that's where contested space comes in. Remember that PvP battleground we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah.
That's where it all goes down.
Okay.
It's a whole other layer of the game where those carefully built ships, those meticulously assembled crews, everything you've worked for is put to the test.
It sounds like contested space is where the real fight for galactic domination begins.
Oh, you better believe it. This is where the gloves come off.
I can't wait to see it all unfold, but we will save the deep dive into contested space for next time.
Oh, yeah, that deserves its own deep dive.
It really does. Get ready, listeners, because we're about to explore the most thrilling and potentially lucrative part of the GalFi universe.
It's going to be wild.
And we're back, ready to build some galactic empires.
It's about to get real.
It is. So last time we talked about GalFi's, unique blend of storytelling and deep economic gameplay.
It's a potent mix.
It is. But now let's get down to the nuts and bolts here.
Let's do it.
The ships and crews that'll really make or break your galactic aspirations.
This is where the fun begins.
This is where it gets serious. So tell me, what kind of options are we looking at here when we're talking about assembling our fleet?
Well, this is where GalFi's depth really shines.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking like cosmetic upgrades here.
Okay.
Each ship is strategically designed. It impacts mission success and ultimately how much GLFI you're taking home.
So it's like assembling your own elite spacefaring squad.
Exactly.
And the options, I was just looking through the white paper. 22 different ships.
It's a lot.
From these tiny little shuttles all the way up to those massive capital ships we were talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah. You can go from like a little scooter all the way up to a Star Destroyer.
Plus, they've got mechs in there, which is cool.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love mechs.
But get this.
What's that?
Every single one of those ships, except for the starter ship, of course,
right,
is an NFT.
That's right.
Created by players themselves.
Player-made spaceships that are actual NFTs. It's next-level stuff.
So it's not just about building a fleet. You're building digital assets with real-world value.
Exactly. And you can trade them on the GalFi marketplace, which adds a whole other layer to the game's economy.
Okay, so walk me through that, because I can see where this is going.
Okay, so let's say you're really good at crafting top-tier warships.
Right.
You could become like the go-to shipyard for every aspiring galactic emperor out there.
Talk about cornering the market.
Exactly. Supply and demand, baby.
And the different ship classes, they really lean into that specialization, don't they? Because you've got your fighters that are obviously built for combat.
Right.
You've got explorers for sniffing out those hidden corners of the galaxy.
Always got to have a good scout.
Miners for,
Mining,
of course.
Got to get those resources.
They even have those swanky pleasure yachts for...
Ah, yes. The diplomatic missions.
Exactly.
Got to keep those alliances strong.
So you're telling me there's more to this than just blowing stuff up?
Well, a little bit of diplomacy never hurt anyone, right?
That's true. That's true. So we've got all these different ship classes, each with its own strengths.
Exactly.
Encouraging players to really find their niche. But I imagine you could also diversify your fleet, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about strategizing based on the missions you want to run and the rewards you're after.
Speaking of rewards, those ship sizes, they matter too, right?
Oh, yeah. Size matters in space.
Okay. How so?
Well, a bigger ship means you can have a bigger crew, and a bigger crew means bigger hauls from those missions.
So it's all about maximizing that crew capacity.
Exactly. Those capital ships we talked about, those can hold up to 20 NFT crew members.
20?
20. That's a force to be reckoned with.
That's a full-on party barge right there.
That's right.
Now we can't forget about those mechs.
Oh, the mechs.
Every great spacefaring adventure needs some giant robots.
It's a classic for a reason, right?
It really is. So what's their deal in GalFi?
So the mechs, they're like the multi-tools of your fleet.
Okay.
They're not as specialized as the ships.
Yeah.
So like a mining ship is only good for mining, right?
Right.
Mechs can handle any mission type.
Really?
And they get a bonus to all missions based on their size.
So if you need something that's reliable that can tackle any job you call in the mechs.
Exactly. They might not be as flashy as like a capital ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But trust me, every player's going to want a few mechs in their fleet.
A good crew is just as important as the ship, though.
Oh, absolutely. You could have the most powerful ship in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Without a good crew, you're going nowhere.
Exactly. So let's talk NFT crew members.
All right, let's do it.
Because this is where GalFi gets really interesting, especially for those NFT collectors out there.
Oh, yeah, they did not forget about the NFT folks.
Okay, what do they do?
So they've integrated 17 popular NFT collections right from the start.
17.
17.
Yeah.
We're talking CryptoPunks, we're talking Avagachis, even Mutant Kongs. The list goes on.
Wow, those are some big names.
Oh, yeah, they went all out. And get this, each collection offers unique daily staking rewards for 6 different in-game tokens.
Hold on, so somebody who's already rocking like a galactic ape or something,
Yeah.
they can bring that into GalFi and start earning right away.
You got to just connect your wallet,
Yeah.
and boom, you're earning while you're playing.
That's really cool. And it's a smart way to get those who are already involved in NFTs excited about GalFi.
For sure. It's a brilliant move.
But what about those of us who are new to the NFT game?
But GalFi's got you covered, too.
Okay.
They have their own crew and specialist NFTs, 10,000 each with unique artwork and in-game utility.
Okay, so this is GalFi's homegrown crew, specifically designed for this universe.
Exactly. And the specialist NFTs are where things get really interesting.
Oh, how so?
Well, they have 29 different specializations.
Room 9.
29, from pilots and miners to artists and even astro engineers.
Astro engineers, I like the sound of that.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. And each specialization comes with its own unique bonuses and rewards,
Yeah.
so you can really fine-tune your gameplay.
So you could have a crew full of specialist miners maximizing your mineral output, or a team of ace explorers seeking out those rare artifacts.
Exactly. It's all about playing to your strengths.
Very cool, very strategic. And I bet like those planets, both the crew and specialist NFTs, have different rarity levels.
You know, the rarer the NFT, the more valuable it's likely to become. And for all you early birds out there, those early staking rewards for both crew and specialist NFTs, they're even juicier.
Ah, yes. The early bird catches the galactic worm.
That's right. You got to get in early.
So get in on that, but they won't last forever, will they?
No, you're right. The white paper mentions that the daily soft staking rewards, especially for the GLFI token, they'll decrease over time as the game's economy evolves.
Which makes sense. You got to keep things balanced, right?
Exactly. Can't have everyone swimming in GLFI forever, right?
Right, although that would be nice.
Yeah, for a little bit.
So all of this talk about ships and crews, we're really just building up to the main event here.
Oh, yeah, the big one.
The epic showdown in contested space.
That's where all this careful planning, the resource management, the strategic NFT collecting, it all comes to a head.
The moment where it all goes down.
It's going to be wild.
It sounds intense. I cannot wait to see it all unfold, but we're going to save that deep dive into contested space for next time.
Oh, yeah. Contested space. That's a whole other can of worms.
It deserves its own episode.
It really does.
Get ready, listeners, because we're about to explore the most thrilling and potentially lucrative part of the GalFi universe.
It's going to be epic.
Welcome back, Galactic Trailblazers. We've covered the lore, the resources, the ships, the crews. Are you ready? Because we are diving headfirst into the ultimate proving ground.
This is it, the moment of truth.
Contested space, baby.
It's about to get real.
It really is. So for those of us who maybe weren't paying attention earlier,
Shame on you.
shame on us. Yeah, what is contested space?
So remember all that talk about building your galactic empire,
Yeah.
right? This is where you actually get to expand it. You get to defend it. And yeah, you might even conquer a few rivals along the way,
The stakes just went up 1,000 parsecs.
at least.
So paint me a picture here. What am I looking at when I enter contested space for the first time?
Okay, so imagine this massive star map, right, with like over 1,000 different star systems,
Okay,
each one ripe for colonization.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, and this isn't like your safe little zone anymore.
Okay,
This is the wild frontier.
okay.
Forget those nice organized planets sitting in your NFT wallet out here. It's all about claiming territory and proving your dominance.
Sounds like my kind of space race, but okay, let's say I'm ready to plant my flag. I've got my ships, I've got my crew. What do I do?
All right, so first things first, you're going to need a colony ship,
Okay, a colony ship.
a special type of vessel specifically designed for, establishing a foothold
Right.
in contested space.
Okay.
So you load it up with your toughest crew members. You pack enough firepower to make a supernova jealous,
Yeah.
and you set a course for an uncolonized system.
Sounds easy enough.
Well, if you land successfully, that system is yours.
Okay.
For a while, anyway.
For a while, what's that supposed to mean?
Remember, this is a contested space.
Okay.
The only rule here is possession is 9/10 of the law.
Okay. And the other 10th.
Let's just say it involves lasers and missiles and a whole lot of strategic maneuvering.
So basically what you're saying is it's my problem if someone else comes knocking.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But hey, that's half the fun, right?
That's true. That's true. But okay, let's say I've got my little corner of the galaxy. I've got my defenses set up. What's stopping someone from just holing up on their planet with a massive fleet and just being completely untouchable?
Well, there's one small detail. Ships can be permanently destroyed in contested space.
Oh, okay.
It adds a whole other layer of risk-reward to the equation.
Okay, so those epic space battles we keep hearing about,
Yeah.
they're not just for show. Like, there are real consequences.
Oh, yeah, this is serious business.
Yeah.
We're talking about losing a ship in contested space. That's not like losing a unit in some,
Yeah.
casual strategy game.
Okay.
It's a permanent loss of that NFT.
So the stakes are high.
High risk, high reward, my friend.
That's what makes it interesting, though, right?
Exactly.
So tell me more about these space battles. How do they actually play out?
All right, so picture this, right? You've got these massive capital ships exchanging laser fire across the void. You've got squadrons of nimble fighters darting between them, picking off stragglers, disrupting formations. It's going to be a tactical ballet of lasers and explosions.
Oh, man, it sounds
Oh, it's
intense.
going to be epic. And it's not just about brute force either. You're going to have to outsmart your opponents. You're going to have to anticipate their moves,
Yeah.
know when to press the attack and when to maybe make a tactical retreat.
So strategy is key.
Oh, absolutely. And with those 29 unique NFT crew specializations we talked about earlier, the potential for strategic depth is enormous.
This is way more than just another space game.
Oh, you better believe it. It's about building, it's about managing, it's about strategizing, and ultimately competing within this like dynamic and ever-evolving galactic ecosystem.
So what you're saying is, I'm going to need a bigger whiteboard?
Probably, yeah. And the best part, it's all powered by blockchain technology,
Of course.
which means real ownership, real value, and potentially real rewards for those who dare to reach for the stars.
We've gone from a utopian dream to the brink of galactic war, all fueled by resource management strategic alliances and the thrill of owning a piece of the digital cosmos.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure.
So before we wrap up, what kind of galactic empire are you building? Are you a peace-loving trader, a ruthless conqueror, maybe a shrewd diplomat?
The choice is yours.
That's right, listeners. The galaxy is yours for the taking.
Just remember, in the vast expanse of the GalFi universe, one thing's for certain, fortune favors the bold.
This has been incredible. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the GalFi universe.
Anytime.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep building, and most importantly, keep your lasers primed.
And your spaceship's fuel.